course, and still now I'm in the army. So there's a couple of reasons I wanted to train to become a personal trainer. Firstly, because it's a natural interest of mine anyway, and it's got quite a lot of involvement for my job. Secondly, because it's a very flexible job which I could use after leaving the army to travel around. You can use it anywhere really. I chose EPTI because when I was looking around, so I used Google as everyone does, and all of the companies that kind of offer fitness courses are very box ticking. The way it looks, it's all very driven towards recruiting as many people as they can just to fulfill courses and get that money. Where I think this course is different is that it's actually run by personal trainers themselves, and it has a lot more personal touch. So the online learning and the coursework, I found it pretty easy. It was obviously a little bit more difficult to fit it in with work, but it wasn't too much of a burden. So I managed to fit it in okay in a relatively short amount of time. And I found that actually once you sat down and properly looked at something, it didn't take too much time. It was more, you thought it'd be more time consuming than it was, and it's reasonably efficient to get through if you've got a bit of an educational background. Support and guidance for the studying the coursework was good. I had Toby constantly on the end of the phone or on the end of emails if I needed him, so constant feedback for anything I sent to him, easy received within 24 hours, so yeah, it was really good. The content was very structured, very decent, clearly geared towards getting through what you need to get through, and some useful information there for your future. The physical side of the 2 weeks, if you do go to the gym a lot and you do a lot of weight training and things, I think a lot of it, as long as you've got good techniques, will be quite easy. So certainly, I think the introductory stuff I found relatively simple. Obviously, everyone's technique can get better, and there's always work to do. But yeah, I found that aspect quite simple. It was good to have explanation behind some of those physical differences between exercises, which you might not have thought about, which you might have just been going through. So that part of it was good. The intensity of the 2 weeks, I think, is more daunting to begin with than actually it turns out to be. So obviously the exams, everyone will get themselves in a bit of a panic, no matter how confident you are for them, and equally with the practicals. So actually, I think the intensity is all right. You're not going to be lying out by the pool all day, but yeah, I think there's a good mix, and it is what you're going to pay for. So no, the tutors are really good. Very structured in their lessons, so straight from the outset you can see they're very organised. They know exactly what they've got to teach without referring to paperwork. So they're good, clear teachers. They know their stuff, and they're very helpful as well. And they'll get involved with a bit of banter as well. The gym was good for what it was needed to be. I think they definitely could use a squat rack, and it could do with some heavier weights, as that also I think limits some of the exercises for some people anyway. Not clearly for everyone. Other than that though, like I say, really good for what it was needed for. In terms of using the beach, I thought that was really good. Boot camping particularly was a real highlight, especially the way it was run. It was good, interesting, good to get out in the sun. The accommodation was fine. I mean, it's better than where I live back home. Yeah, I think the residential experience has been good. I think a lot of people find it really useful just to, at the end of the day, use each other to bounce off, learn off. So a lot of the guys get together. If you're not in the same room, it doesn't matter, get together and just have a study, go over things, and I think it's really helpful for the learning process, especially before the exams. Student PT clinic it's a good idea, useful tool just to actually get hands on with an actual client, and then give you a bit of insight as to what it would be like when it's not one of your colleagues. I think for me, I've got a background in instructing and teaching. I think the good part for me was adapting it to a different set of clientele. So trying to learn how to approach different people in different ways, and not get frustrated when people can't do things. I feel relatively prepared for a new career in personal training. I think realistically it's a career where even after you finish all this, that's just the start. It's just that's your entry level, and I think you've got to learn a lot, and personally I'm always hungry to learn more. I'm not satisfied with what I've got, so I think it's a good starting point. The business supremacy course, I've not had time to look at it, but I've had varying emails, and obviously the instructors have talked about it, but it sounds like a really useful tool for actually setting up your own business, which is certainly a route I could go down. So basically any kind of help you can be given, you should take, so it would be worth looking at. I think the course is a good investment. I think it's going to be a lot better than most courses out there, because of the way it's run, because of the personal nature, and because they're not just trying to get you through a course, they're actually trying to make you decent personal trainers. Now that I've graduated, in terms of where I take this forward, it will depend on what I do with my career, but one good option is that I'm going to try and move abroad and use it to travel around a bit, and potentially set up my own business somewhere tropical and sunny.